People the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. This has been a crazy week. Yes. That's the best way to describe it. I did my first soap show, which was a little bit scary. I tend to avoid those. Usually I just sell my products on Etsy or the internet or in person when people see, like one of my ads and say, hey, can I buy this, that, and the other from you, especially folks from Cincinnati. Well, meet me so and so place and, so forth, so on. But this was a whole 4-hour soap show with basically me being on all the time. I don't do that. I freeze up when it comes time to I can't even formulate the thought. When it comes time to sell myself, that's not me. So what I did instead, because my daughter was having a function and she invited me along and my mom was there. So here we have a 6-foot long table. 3 feet of it was mine. Topi and mom had the other, 3 feet, 3 chairs. Very small, cramped space. The table might actually have been 4 feet long and we only had 2 feet. I don't know. All I did was stack up my soaps, presentation style, which is a good thing I know how to do that because the amount of product I brought with me and the amount of space I had did not match. So basically, I just did it by batches. I took the cherry rainbows and I stacked it a certain way. I took the lavender helix and I stacked them going up on top of each other. I did that with the plantains and almond milk, so forth, so on. And then when the table literally got filled up, I just put the top on the rest of them that was in the bin. I figure if they sold out of the spot, then I could just take more out of the bin and restack. So then I'm helping my daughter with her stuff. And, I wasn't even looking at my stuff. I had my Etsy. Let me show you this thing. It's real cool. It's my Etsy stand. It has my reader and all that in a little composite type. I mean, literally, it's compact. So I stuck my reader into my phone. And then I stuck this into the little stand like this. And then if I'm going away, it says be right back, people at Etsy, so forth, so on. And yeah, that was my setup. Literally, I just had my stand there and my soaps there. And I was helping my daughter, and somebody said, ooh, what you got there? And I said, handmade soaps. Really? Um, what do you make them from? I said, depends on the soap. And this one is vegan, so forth, so on. And this one, and before I knew it, 4 hours had went past and I made money. And I didn't have to sell myself. Basically, they came over to me and I just talked about my products and happy customers all around and cash in my pocket. Since I had my Etsy reader, I didn't have to worry about, oh, you can't, I don't got no money. It's like, well, I take Visa, I take checks, I take cash. And the girl goes, you take Visa? I was like, yeah, I got my reader right here. So I, showed her my phone. And she goes, well, stick this card in there. Ting, ting. Sure, there you go. And since it was through the Etsy's listings, it automatically subtracted each product that was sold from my listing without me having to go back with, an Excel spreadsheet or typing on a computer and, doing all the subtraction myself. It did it automatically. And I asked her, I said, well, do we want your email on here? Because it can send you updates. And for each one that went there, I just went ahead and typed in the email address so that way it can automatically send. And oh, and for each one of those listings that went through the card reader, it allows the purchaser to click feedback on what it is they bought and give me positive or negative feedback. It'll probably be positive because I do good work. I don't make products to sell per se. I make products for me and then I sell the leftovers. And it has to be good enough for me because I have very sensitive skin. So I'm not going to sell something that's going to be detrimental for me. So automatically it's good for the customer. I did that with some of the cash sales too, but I didn't have an email address, but it's still registered in the Etsy, so it automatically subtracted it. So, all of my listings are up to date without me having to do any extra work. So then I come home, I went to sleep. At first I couldn't get to sleep. It was like, man, I was like restless. I couldn't get to sleep the day before either because I was excited. And then it was like every itty bitty thing, if there was an odd sound in the house or, the temperature wasn't right or, somebody's radio went off randomly, car alarm outside, I was wide awake right now. So at some point in time, I mean, the craft fair was over about 4 o'clock. And by 8 o'clock, I was tired, but I had to wait till 9:30 to take my meds because they have to go a certain time every day. So I know I was awake at 9:30. I was drastically tired. I tried to take a nap. I couldn't. But by 9:30, I took my, well, actually 9:20, I took my meds because I was just so tired of waiting. And I was like, what's 10 minutes? And I don't remember anything after that except for waking up with a blanket on. It was 80 degrees in Cincinnati, but mom, God love her, put a blanket on me and apparently kissed my face because there's a big old red lipstick mark. But that's what woke me up. It's like, man, it's hot. Where does blanket come from? And then that's when I looked around and realized I was in the living room on the couch. I don't sleep in the living room on the couch. So, of course, that's when I figured out I must have fell asleep literally mid sentence. So the next day I asked mom, I said, when did you get home? She said, oh, about 10 o'clock, 11. And then I went and picked Topi up from work. And then I came back to the house, so forth. So at that time, apparently, she went to pick my daughter up, who was working third shift that time, and then came back to the house, decided, oh, wait a minute, I'm out of snack foods or whatever. So she went to the store, came back. So I heard the door open and all that, but I didn't know I was asleep for that long. And then, at the time we had this conversation, it was like 4:30 in the morning. So basically, I was like, well, if you don't mind, I'm going back to sleep. She goes, and good night. So the next time I woke up, it was 10:35, and I'm going, oh man, I got to be at church in less than 30 minutes. So I went to the bathroom, washed up, got dressed, got gone. And then on Monday, they did my INR check. Hey, well, actually, that was my recheck. First, it was 1.1, and then the retest was 1.6. I was told to drink a glass of wine. Maybe that'll bring it down. Didn't work. And I was restricted from eating salads for a whole week. No salads, not even the green leafy, to go on the top of a hamburger. So, of course, Monday when they retested, it was still out of whack, so forth, so on. Today, I just did my INR check 2.5. Perfect. Yay! Because what I didn't tell mom was if I failed the second INR check, they was going to keep me in the hospital. I find hospitals really annoying and very inconvenient. Just and then they always put that thing under my seat so that way if I get up off the bed, even to stretch my legs for 1 second, it's like, why you gonna put an alarm on a grown person? Thomas, oh well, you're a fall risk. I walk with a cane. I kind of know if I'm going to be feeling a little bit off kilter or dizzy or whatever. And the first thing you do when you get up, you put your hand out on the handrail, or in this case, like, you hear that? That's my nightstand, which means if I need to stand up, I can always put my hand here and arch up. So here at the hospital, they put an alarm under your bed, and that reduces you to asking somebody who don't ever come on time, can I go to the bathroom? I don't even about to say, can I? I go, beep. Yes, can I help you? Gotta go potty. And they already know because, I mean, the last time I was there, they was going, oh, how you doing, Mrs. Peoples? We got to put the monitor on you. Yes, I know. So, but they already know. I will give them one shot. Beep. How can I help you? Got to go potty. I'll wait a whole 60 seconds and then you're going to hear their alarm go off whether you're there or not because I'm getting up. I'm not going to be sitting there waiting, you know, 5, 10, 15 minutes for the nurse to come by to escort me to the potty or turn off the alarm so I can go on my own. You don't come in a timely manner, then you get to come by and turn off the alarm and say the same sentence. You're supposed to wait for us. Well, you didn't you didn't get here fast enough, or, Yeah. And my preacher actually came by along with my pastor and the youth pastor came by that last time I was in the hospital to pray with me. That was awesome. And so then, of course, I get sprung from the hospital. Here's a couple of new nurses. I have a speech therapist now. She's working on the swallowing. The microvascular incident turned out they're actually calling that a stroke. And I was like, you said it was a microvascular incident that you caught on time. She goes, yeah, but a microvascular incident is a stroke. So instead of a TIA or a stroke, you basically had a mini stroke that you caught on time because you recognized the symptoms and you brought yourself to the hospital. Yeah, recognize the symptoms. Right here on my leg, I was getting this, it felt like something was throbbing right here, which is really odd for me because that part of my leg, this is the right side of my body. That's my stroke side. From the ankle to the top of the knee, I literally do not feel anything there at all, except for maybe some numbness. So here was a sharp, throbbing type pain, like pow, pow, pow. And I went, ah! Mom goes, what? I said, that was weird. She goes, what was weird? So I told her what was going on. She goes, so you reckon you need to go to the hospital? I said, you reckon I'll wait a few minutes and find out? By the time I got to the top of the steps, I just went on ahead and reached for my shoes because it was back and it was stronger. And then I was getting this headache. So that time they only kept me in the hospital for 4 days. And they redid the Coumadin. They put me back on the Rixtra, the Lipitor, the Hydrea, all of my meds from the first time that I was in the hospital for the stroke was reinstated basically, and the Coumadin was adjusted, and that's when I had to go to get the INR checked and have my platelet levels checked all over again. On Monday, when they tried to do the INR, they told me, oh, the blood was bad. We have to do it over. I got 6 stabs in this arm and 3 in that arm before they finally got enough blood out to do the platelet check and the INR. And that's when they called me up and told me your INR was 1.1. What? It's like it went in there, it circulated around for a while, didn't connect with a thing, and just went back out. So I asked her again, what did you just say? And she goes, and the retest was 1.6. I was like, you mean my blood is sludge? She goes, yeah, at this rate, you're headed for another stroke. So at that point, I called Dr. Latif. I said, well, what was my platelets? The blood was bad. We have to do the test all over, so forth, so on. Well, they've currently got that test, but I don't get to see him until the end of the month. So that way I'll find out what the platelet standing is at that point. But I'm still on one hydria a day instead of every other day. It's one a day. If it went too high up, they would definitely call me back to adjust. And if it was too far down, they would have called me back. So I'm thinking at this point, I must be somewhere within the range. So I didn't worry about it. Well, I just came back from my INR today, 2.5. So I celebrated, of course, by having a white pizza and a salad. I hadn't had a salad in over a week. And then I told him, it's like, well, okay, you've been off of salad for a week. I know you're probably going to start back with the salad. I said, lady, you got me here. I need my warfarin to be refilled because I'm going to be out on Sunday. And you need to know that since you said I can have my salad, you need to know I eat salads almost as the meal on Sundays, and then on Thursdays, my old schedule, so forth. So she goes, you know what? I'm going to adjust you so you can have a salad every day. Now, don't get crazy with it. Don't have a salad for lunch and then one for dinner. A salad every day. I said, well, what size is the bowl? And she goes, how you mean? I said, my bowl is like this. Actually, I'm going to show you my bowl. This is my salad bowl. Okay. In fact, that's what it had in it. It had some salad in it. But come to find out, the average size salad bowl for most people is like this. Let's look at that. You know. And then there's like a side salad size. I don't do side salads. I do salads. And this is usually packed to the top and then the dressing is poured on top. Sometimes I put the dressing on the bottom so I can put the salad on top and then put the dressing over it. And I enjoy my salads. Skyline has a dinner salad. The Greek one is really good. It has Kalamata olives, chicoro peppers. It's just a really good salad. Except for when they put it with the Greek dressing. Yeah, what that stuff? That is so bad. Don't. I get my Greek salad with ranch dressing and some crackers. It's a party in your mouth, y'all. But that Greek salad, they could keep that. That stuff is just, I don't know if it's the spices they got in there or the vinegary taste is not appealing to me at all. So, also, the tobacco store had a sale. I'm going to show these to you. They had a sale on e-liquids that were non-menthol. And then they had the regulars, for the regular price, so forth and so on. Okay, this is the one I usually pay $6 for. This costs $1.99. This costs $1.99. These are basically flavorings for the one that does have menthol. Look at the size of that. They're both 10 milliliter bottles. No, this one's 15 milliliters. This is 10 milliliters. This one is $2 cheaper than this one. Well, $3 cheaper, actually. That's a crazy price difference. I was like, why are these on sale? Something wrong with them? They said, no, we're just clearing out the inventory. Those are not menthol anyway, so forth, so on, because we're getting new stuff in. In other words, they're going to expire. I went, oh, they're expiring? Yeah, in about 3 months. 3 months. I go through one of those in less than a month. Especially the non-menthol ones, because now it's feeding the habit of puffing instead of the, oh, I need my nicotine. In fact, I left this at the house today because, well, I kind of forgot to take it with me. And obviously I didn't miss it. I came upstairs basically to make this video, and that's when I said, oh, there's my e-stick. So it's no longer, I mean, it used to be, it never left my hand. And the only time it was out of my hand was to refill the e-liquid. And then I was puffing, puffing, puffing because my nicotine level was like this. Well, now it's like this. Anyway, you're now up to date on all that. I made a soap called Tone on Tone. I made it a challenge. I got one person at least that took the challenge and liked how it came out for her. Several other people have clicked like on the video. I'm just waiting to see other postings of the results because I had great fun making it. And I'm finna make another batch that's much bigger because I mean, there was only 7 bars in the test batch, and 6 of them have already been requested, and one is mine. You ain't getting all the stuff. I mean, come on now. If I make a test batch of 7 soaps, I'm not gonna sell all 7 of them. I'm only gonna sell 6 of them. One of them is mine. So, anyway, you are now up to date on the life of Pipla. The white pizza has kind of left my system, so now it's time to go get some pork or some steak or some beef or something, put it with some dinner foods. Since I already had my salad, I can't have another one, but I can have one tomorrow. So this has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. Oh, how you like the hair? I decided to braid this down, and then I figured out, wait a minute, the last time I braided it in this hairstyle, it kept flopping right in my eye. So I braided it into 2 ponytails, and then I got a ponytail bow on the end of it. And then I didn't feel like braiding the rest of it down. I was like, well, I actually want it loose, so I just did a braided inch type format. So it's like braided from here to here, and then the rest I just put some 14 and 1 on, gave it some time, let it shrink, gave it a shake, and now I got fluffy. So now I think I've covered everything. This has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. Bye now.